Hello there, it's Carrie Rhodes here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's video is super fun. It is part of a blog hop with Spellbinders featuring the November club kits. I'm going to be showcasing the large die of the month for November, and it's a stitching set, and I am making some adorable Christmas ornaments. There is also a giveaway along with this blog hop, so make sure and head over to my blog, carriestamps.com. Check it out, get all the links to hop along, and visit the Spellbinder shop to enter the giveaway. This is the Merry Stitching large die of the month for November. I recently found out it is sold out, but you can get it in the Value Club kits, which I have linked for you below. I have a 6x6 piece of patterned paper that I am cutting into 1/2-inch strips, and that will give me a total of 12 strips. We're going to use all 12 to create this woven snowflake ornament. I'm going to divide them into 2 piles, so I have 6 in one pile and 6 in the other. And then I'm going to make one side of the ornament. So I'm going to take 2 pieces, 2 strips, and fold them in half. This is going to show me exactly where center is, and I can use those folded in half lines to then glue them together and make sure that they are squared up and centered. It just, the line really helps to figure that out. I'll even flip it over and look at it from the back side, and I can see my folded in half line and make sure that it's going down the middle, and it just helps. All right, so now what we're going to do is take 2 strips and glue them on. So the strip that's running horizontally, we want to do what the opposite of that. So the horizontal strip, the way that the paper is now, is on top. So I'm gluing these other 2 strips behind, and I am gluing them about like a 1/16 of an inch apart. Like there's a tiny bit of a gap, they're not touching. And then I'm going to turn that, I'm going to take one more strip and weave this across the top. So here I went under, over, under, and then I just need to glue that into place. And there will be 3 spots that you need to glue down. So the first one right here that I just glued, and then I'm going to glue the end one because it's on the same, level, and then I'll glue this third one in place. Make sure you get all 3 of those spots glued down. And then we're going to repeat that on the other side, doing another bit of weaving. I got it wrong the first time. But you're going to do whatever's opposite of that middle strip and then glue that one into place as well. So that's going to give us one side of this ornament, and we're going to set that aside to really dry while I make another one with the other 6 pieces. I'm going to do the exact same thing with these 6. So now I have 2 of these woven pieces, and the next thing we're going to do is some bending. So we're going to turn this so it looks like an X and bend in the 2 inside pieces, glue them together so the ends are squared up with each other. So you just want to be tender with this because you don't want to fold it. You just want to bend it, and you really want to hold it down. Make sure that you get enough glue so it's really going to cover the entire area where the 2 pieces of paper meet. Hold it in place or use some clips to help if you don't want to stand there for, a minute or whatever and hold that down. It's very helpful to have some little kind of clips or tiny clothespins or something. So I've done this to all 4 of the sides, and then you'll see I have 4 straight pieces left. That's exactly how we want it. Those are going to be the pieces that connect to the second one. So I've done the same with the second piece, and now we're going to hook them together. So match up a curved piece with a straight piece. And then you're going to take every single straight piece and tuck it into the curved piece. And you'll have 8 sides that you need to do this on, 8 points, and they just tuck right in. Then when all those are tucked in, we're going to glue them together. So you're going to glue the point to the straight piece, making sure the point is centered up on that straight piece. I like to do opposite sides. So I do one and then I go straight across and do the other end of that same side. And I always flip it over to make sure that I have that point centered on that strip. And there you can see I am putting the glue on the opposite side, and then I'm flipping that over to make sure that it's centered up, and then I can do the remaining 4 pieces. And those seem to dry faster because they're not, when you're gluing curved paper, it tends to want to pull apart. So these will dry much faster because it's just flat paper. Once that is all dry, we're going to take some scissors and snip off any of the excess strips so that it lines up with the point on each curved piece. Now you could leave these just how they are if you like that look. There's no technical reason why those need to be cut off. It's just for looks. So if you were gonna, maybe go for a different look, you could leave the strips on. So I am just cutting off each piece. My scissors had fuzz on them because my 15-year-old daughter had borrowed them and I found them in her room. Yeah, and they had fuzz. I don't know what she was doing. You never know with teenagers, right? All right, so I am going to show you what this snowflake looks like if I were to put the black and white on the inside, where on the last one I had the red and black on the inside. So it's always hard to decide which side of the paper should go on what side of this snowflake. But whatever side is up when you're creating the woven step, like I am doing right here, this side is going to be the inside of your ornament. So just keep that in mind in case you have a certain look that you're going for with your patterned paper. And there's no reason really to decide. You should just make one of each. And then you have two, because then you have matching ornaments, you have more to give away, whatever you want to do with these. I think these make the perfect little gifts. And if you don't have the large die of the month, you can put anything on these ornaments. I have made these a lot. I already have another video with this where I use like a little doily and a little stamped sentiment. So really, it's up to your imagination what you want to put in the center of these. And quite frankly, the woven part is so cute. You really wouldn't have to put anything in the center if you didn't want to. So it's kind of a 2-for-1 video here today with the woven ornament, and then we'll have the stitched ornament that goes on top. And there you can see that with the buffalo check plaid on the outside. So cute. And here's both of them. I like them equally, and once I get all the stuff on them, they're so gorgeous and I adore them. So here is that large die of the month for November. It's called Merry Stitching, and I'm going to die cut out this snowflake with the shape around it so it'll die cut away from the paper. And then I'm going to use my new tool-in-one. I love that it matches my die cutting machine now, and rub that over my die cut just to get out all those tiny little fallout pieces. However, I am going to be stitching this so my needle can poke out some of them. I also die cut one from red, and then I just matched them up how I wanted them to be. I am using like an embroidery needle for this, and this is embroidery floss. What I like to do is pull off a long piece, under a yard long, and then I'm going to separate this down the middle. So when I separate it, I have 3 strands and 3 strands, because 6 strands that's in a piece of embroidery floss is just too thick. This is the stitching guide that comes with this set, and it shows you how to stitch this if you pull it out and you're like, what in the world am I supposed to do? You pull out the stitching guide and it shows you. So you're going to go up through hole number 1, down through hole number 2, then come up through hole number 3 and go back down hole number 1. And you're really just creating what I describe as a fan. So I'm just going to go all the way around, and you can see there's etched lines into the die cut that kind of show you where the string goes. But also, it's kind of a decorative element if you decided not to stitch this. So that's super cool that this can be used stitched or not stitched. It's up to you how much you want to, get involved with it. Look at that. Isn't it so cute? All right, so now we're going to do the outer part. You want to come up from the hole that's in between the 2 more triangular shaped holes. And then you're going to go over to the side, the hole that's below what looks like a flower, and then continue on with the fan. So up through hole number 3, down through hole number 1, up through hole number 4, down through hole number 1, and on and so forth. And this will create some kind of diamond shaped fans, whereas the one in the middle is a circle. And it's so fun that you can make patterns out of these versus Some stitching dies, you just stitch along the edge, you know, where it just looks like you've stitched a word or something. So I love that this creates a pattern, and the red paper with the white snowflake is making me so happy. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. So pretty. So I'll finish this up, and I will end up adding a little black detail to this, and didn't quite get that part on video, but I'll show it to you, the finished part, so you can see where I added just a touch of black to this so it would bring out all the colors in my ornament. I took a stitch on the back side and tied that off in a knot, and like I said, it's gorgeous. The red with the white is making me so happy. So now let's do red with white again, but I'm starting with a white snowflake and using red thread this time. So I just tried to look at my ornaments and feel what would look best on each one. And there's so many possibilities. Like you could die cut a black cardstock snowflake and stitch it with white or metallic thread. Oh yeah, so many choices, and it's hard just to make a couple because you want to see what it looks like in all the colors. But as I was doing this, I thought, I'm going to try alternating the colors. So my snowflake will go red, black, all the way around. Now when I put my thread in, I like to stick it to the back with a little bit of temporary adhesive. I don't tie a knot or anything, and I've made several of these projects and haven't had any trouble with it coming loose. So there's my tip, and then I'm going to go super fast and show you how this looks with two of them done, and I decided I loved it, so I continued on and made it alternate all the way around. And in the end, like, it looks kind of not Christmassy right here, but once I got it on the ornament with all the details, I thought it looked amazing. Here's that first one where I added a touch of black around that edge, and I think these turned out so super cute. All right, so now I'm going to embellish these. So on the first one, I'm using some black gemstones. These are from an Etsy shop called Craft Supplies by CC on Etsy. I am friends with the owner, and I just want to put out a little plug for her and her little embellishment shop because she has some super cool things. I will link it for you below if you would like to check her out and support small business. So I'm putting tiny little gems on each of the centers of those flower-like shapes. And then for the second one, I'm using some red gems and putting them only on the outside. The first one, I put a larger gem in the middle, but on this second one, I wanted to add a sentiment to it because I just wanted to show you like different possibilities that you could do. Now to add these to the actual woven snowflake, I'm using some hot glue on the back of the thread. And then I'm going to lay that down and just kind of tap it into place and let it cool. And then I'll repeat that on the second one. And the thread is higher than the paper, and that's why it is the best place to put the hot glue besides any paper that you would put hot glue on this particular ornament. It would seep through those holes. Here is my Crop-A-Dile. I dusted it off along with some eyelets that were so lonely in my drawer and put a hole and filled it with an eyelet so I could string these up. Now you can do this without an eyelet, but I was feeling all fancy, and so I thought I would definitely use an eyelet there. And then I'm going to do a Glimmer hot foil sentiment for my second snowflake. So I'm using this super cool quick trimmer from Spellbinders to cut the perfect size black foil for my sentiment, which by the way is from the Yana's Christmas sentiments. It says merry and bright. I'll put that on my hot Glimmer hot foil. Oh, that was a tongue twister. My ready to go Glimmer hot foil system, so that the plate is face up. You put the foil pretty side down, then your cardstock, then your plates. Press the timer. When the timer goes off, you run it through your die machine and back, and you have a beautifully foiled sentiment. This also comes with dies, so I die cut that, added some foam squares to the back, as well as some liquid glue so it would really take hold on top of that stitching, and I love how this looks. If you're giving this as a gift, I think it's really cool to put a sentiment there. And merry and bright, I really like for an ornament where I don't love it as much for a card. What is merry and bright? It's a embellishment on your Christmas tree. Okay, so that finishes up my 2 ornaments for today. I hope that you love them because honestly, like, I adore these. I think they're going to go on a little treat and be a gift for a neighbor, or my husband does a gift exchange at his office every year, and I did an ornament for one before, and I thought, ooh, maybe I would add it again this year. Here's some other projects that I made with this die set that you can check out. I have a link for it in the top right corner. You can check that out if you haven't seen it, and make sure you hop along and visit the Spellbinders blog as well, so you can be entered to win one of 5 $50 gift certificates that they are giving away. If you like this video, make sure and give it a thumbs up so I know, and I would love to chat with you, so feel free to leave a comment, and if you're new here, feel free to subscribe because I have new videos all the time. I will be back again very soon with more crafty fun just for you. Thanks, and happy stamping. Bye.